Well, hello and welcome to this midday market mood check. I'm Nandita Khemka. Well, the mood on the street is pretty somber. You look at the Nifty that has broken below that budget day low of 17,353 or thereabouts, and in fact, we are trading around that 17,330 levels. What's interesting is the fact that the Nifty Bank Index has regained that 40,000 mark, even as metals, IT, auto, these are emerging as the top laggards in today's session. If you look at the mid and small cap indices, they are also down somewhere around a percent or thereabouts. Let's talk about the whole trend that is there in the markets and how to navigate this weakness. For that, we're joined by Ajit Mishra of Religare Securities. Ajit, good to have you joining us this afternoon. Budget day lows of 17,353 broken, and the sell-off entered the seventh day. Where do you expect the markets to find support later this week?
Yeah, good afternoon, Nandita. So yes, this recovery which we were seeing post-budget, Nifty has engulfed the entire gains. Today we have seen the decline for the budget day lows as well. But at the same time, what we are seeing on a positive side is that the banking is trying to hold the ground at least in today's session. But the problem part is that these sectors which were holding earlier, like IT, FMCG, auto, we are seeing a bout of selling in these sectors. So it's a kind of like a mixed indication that we have. But since we have considerable weightage from the banking financials in the Nifty index, there could be a possibility of some bit of breather or consolidation around the current levels. But the tone is likely to remain negative until we see some form of reversal pattern in the index, or Nifty regains or reclaims the 200 days of exponential moving average, which is close to around 17,600 mark. On downside, below 17,300 in case if it manages to close, then 17,100 as per the declining channel could be the next major support that Nifty could test.
Right, 17,100 will be the next major support for the index. You mentioned IT. After being an underperformer last year, we saw a remarkable recovery coming on that index. In fact, some of the mid cap IT names were also doing pretty well. But today, if you look at emphasis, that stock is down somewhere around 7%. Uh, would you advise investors to accumulate these stocks on dips now, given the fact that they are, in fact, they have made quite a bit of recovery, and in fact, they could go ahead and gain some more strength going forward?
So in fact, Nandita, till last week, the IT pack was the one which was like holding the ground and helping the index to cap the damage. The decline was gradual in the index just because that FMCG, IT, and some of these other index majors were holding ground. But with this kind of a decline that we started the week, I feel that yes, selectively one can look at the ID names, but from the large cap ID basket, not the mid cap ID basket, considering the kind of cuts that we are seeing in today's session. So from the large cap IT basket, TCS, Infosys, HCL Tech, these are the names which looks very strong to us. And from the mid cap basket, selectively, Persistent and Coforge, these are the two stocks which are holding very strongly. So yes, gradually one can accumulate, but since we are seeing excessive volatility and pressure, in case if it's a short-term trading position, you should maintain stop losses as well.
Right, so maintain stop losses and look at large cap IT names. Let's also talk about the two-wheeler basket. We've seen Bajaj Auto fall around 5%. In fact, it's dropped the most in 5 months. There is news flow that the company is looking to cut production by 25 basis, in fact 25%, due to weakness in export markets. Given the fact that Hero Motor is also trading below the 2,500 level, what should one do with these two-wheeler names?
So, Nanta, this entire space, till last week, as you know, we were discussing that apart from IT, FMCG, auto was the one such sector which was like, helping the market to cap the damage. And now, we are seeing that the auto pack, especially Bajaj Auto, has, opened with the sharp down cut and it's again, inching towards the previous swing lows close to around 35, 40, 3,500 levels. So there could be a bit of breather around those levels, but I feel that the positive tone that we were holding in these, two-wheeler names like TVS, TVS still looks comparatively better, but Hero Motoco and Bajaj Auto, they might go under consolidation now after this, recent bit of selling pressure. comparatively, we feel that M&M, looks strong within the auto basket, and then TVS. These are two names which are still holding strong.
Well, M&M and TVS standing out when it comes to the auto pack. We're also getting in some queries, and I want you to address a few of them. Ultratech Cement is one. Nidhi Kothari has written, and she wants to know your thoughts on Ultratech Cement. And of course, Electra Greentech is one stock that saw an 18% rally on Friday, and in fact, even today it's up quite a bit. What would you do with these two stocks, Ajit?
Yes, so Ultratech is basically outperforming the cement space because if you notice that majority of the cement counters are also, participating in the down move. Ultratech and Dalmia Bharat so far is holding strong. And Ultratech, I feel that it might, consolidate in a narrow range. So close to around 7,900 could be the area where it might, face strong support. And 7,400, 7,500 could be the upper band of that range. So broadly in this band, we may see the stock, consolidate. So in case if you are looking for fresh longs, wait for any dip around 7,000, then you can start accumulating. For electorate, this stock has moved up, almost very sharply in the last three trading sessions, and this zone close to 540, 550 could be the area where it might face resistance. So it's prudent in case if you are holding longs to book profit and let the stock stabilize and retrace around 470 levels to the end.
Right, so book profits in Electra. And let's also talk about the aviation pack. SpiceJet reported a stellar set of numbers on Friday. We saw a rally of 13% come in. In fact, the company has also got board approval to raise funds, via preference issue and via QIP. Uh, how would you navigate this whole pocket, given the fact that there's strong demand for travel as well? Which one is looking attractive now, Indigo versus SpiceJet?
See, I would rather prefer to go with Indigo after this recent correction because SpiceJet is anyways, underperforming, trading below its, all the major averages. Plus, if you see that it's still, hovering around the, in fact, record lows as well. So there could be a bit of a recovery post numbers, and but sustainable trend is what we are seeing in Indigo is something that automatically. Uh, requires our preference that any level close to around 1700, 1720 could be the area where one can start accumulating the stock. 1650, I believe, is going to be a strong support area for the stock. And gradually, again, in the next swing, 1950 to 2000 could be the area where it might retest.
Right, we were talking about the banking pack earlier. We know that the Nifty Bank Index has clawed its way back above that 40,000 mark. Uh, you know, uh, would you now advise investors to look at buying some of these private bank names on dips, given the fact that we saw a bout of underperformance when we started the year? But would you expect some rebound to kick in now that we have reclaimed the 40,000 mark?
So certainly, yes. See, when it comes to private sector banks, in fact, some of the names have started recovering when the banking index was, still witnessing pressure. So stock like Axis, stock like ICICI, and even the SDFC Twins. I feel that these top four names can be considered to, gradually accumulate on dips. At the same time, avoid PSU basket, especially like Bank of Baroda, Canara Bank, PNB, because they were in fancy in last in several months. So there could be like underperformance that may continue in the PSU bank. But yes, private banks, these top four names can be considered.
Right, let's also talk about Voltas. We saw a fair bit of up move coming on that stock last week on hopes of an early summer. But today we had a Goldman Sachs report which has a sell rating on the stock. Would you expect now some kind of sell off to kick in, or do you think these dips are a good buying opportunity when it comes to these consumer durable stocks?
See, Voltas, I feel that this dip is definitely a buying opportunity considering the kind of reversal that we had in the recent weeks and the kind of like volume support that we have close to around 850, 860 zone. We have very strong volume candles on those days. So I believe that that area, this stock is likely to defend. And yeah, the move could be gradual considering that the market tone is negative. So there might be, a bit of pressure on the higher levels. But gradually, I expect the stock to retest close to around 970, 980 area. in let's say a month or two. So yes, you can look for accumulating in the range of 820 to 850, and your stop should be at 800 for this position.
Right, you can look at accumulating both as on dips. Lastly, Ajit, what are your expectations from the second half of the session? Where do you expect the markets to settle in today? Do you think we are poised to close below that 17,300 mark as well today?
See, yes, we have a very strong possibility, Nandita, because I was expecting that after retesting the budget day low, there could be of a bit of breather during the day. So initially, yes, we had a very strong rebound, but we couldn't sustain despite banking index doing exceptionally well. So there's a
Hmm.
possibility that we might inch toward 300 levels and end closer to that mark, and maybe a gap of opening might result in some short covering in days to come, but as of now the tone looks negative. So selling pressure may continue, and as you said, that 17,600 something that one should keep a close eye on until we are not closing of this mark decisively. The tone is likely to remain.
Well, the tone is likely to remain negative. Before I let you go, what are your thoughts on the metals basket, given the fact that a dollar index has also gained strength once again on rate hike fears for longer? Uh, what should one do with the likes of Tata Steel, Hindalco going forward?
See, metal basket was also like witnessing gradual profit taking, especially in last 2 3 weeks. In fact, the top performing names, like Jindal Steel, JSW Steel, which were trading around the record highs, they were also witnessing a bit of pressure. So now I feel that the downside seems capped from the current level. So if you talk about Tata Steel, which is quoting around 106, I feel that zone close to 100, 200 could be the area where it might take a breather. Similarly, in Nalco, we believe that a zone closer to around 390 to 395 could be there, where it might test first and then we see some breather. So I would recommend to avoid any fresh shorts at the current levels. For accumulation. Any dip towards these levels, one can look for a short-term recovery trade or a rebound trade.
Right, so that's the call on the metal basket. With that, Ajit, thanks a lot for taking out time and putting things into perspective for us. It was lovely chatting with you this afternoon.
Thank you.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this Nifty market mood check. Well, the mood is pretty somber, but let's see whether the markets manage to claw back some of the losses in the second half of the session. For all your financial news updates and market updates, stay tuned to